Welcome back, my friends, to another episode of Fuck Fine, the podcast where we believe in living absolutely unapologetically and on our own terms. I am your host, Kari Hurd, and today we're talking about something that's been a theme with me for a while now, and that is growth. Not the typical kind, though, not the kind that gets acknowledgement or applause or recognition of any kind. Not the kind that shows up in a transformation reel or in your journal or some kind of checklist with, boxes or anything like that. And it's not even the kind that's going to show up on your vision board. And I know that's strange for me to say because, I love me a good vision board. However, I want to talk about the kind of growth that nobody sees. Sometimes not even ourselves. The kind that doesn't always feel exciting. It's not always measurable. It might not even be productive. Now you're wondering, well, if it's not productive, if nobody can see it, if I can't even see it, if I'm not then what's the freaking point? That's what we're going to dive into. Okay. Let me start by saying, I love me a good goal, right? I do a goal setting workshop. I do vision, I'm all for it. I love structure. I love creating a plan and executing a plan and then seeing it through and have it sort of come to life. I love that. I think we all do. But I have shared a lot recently. It's no secret, I've been sitting in a different kind of season for a while now. And it's a season where the most important progress that I have made isn't anything that I can show. There's no milestone I've reached. I should say there's a couple personal things, but just sort of on the whole, there's no milestone that I can share. There's no new title, no big announcement. Yes, I'm creating things, but my biggest growth has been very quiet. It's a quieter mind overall, right? Softer morning routines. Even on the days that I go to my day job, my mornings are just so much more chill. I have more trust in myself when I'm saying no to things or when I'm making decisions about things. I have less guilt about doing nothing, less guilt about saying no, right? Just this overall sense of harmony and peace. I think somewhere along the way, we have absorbed this belief that growth has to look like something, right? The healing, the up leveling, the personal development in whatever shape or form it takes, it should come with steps and worksheets and checklists and some sort of defined after picture, whether it's a physical change that is literally documented with a picture or growing a business that, started at zero and grew to six figures, or, right, people are, we've come to believe that there's this actual tangible growth that we have to see with our eyes, and that somehow our value is tied into that and tied into how we can evolve. And in today's world, how we can evolve publicly and quickly, right? Here's a wild thought though. What if growth is sometimes just staying still and letting yourself be? What if the bravest thing you can do is to not try to fix yourself? I'm not saying goals aren't good. I'm not saying you shouldn't set goals. Like I said, do a goal setting workshop. Yes, goals. I'm saying they're not the only way to move the needle. Some days growth gets to look like making difficult decisions. Some days it gets to be just having one simple, difficult conversation. Sometimes growth is not returning a text just because you feel obligated to, or eating what your body actually craves instead of what you should. Sometimes growth is letting people misunderstand you because explaining yourself costs too much energy. Sometimes growth is choosing peace over proving your point. Or, the most radical of all, sometimes growth is doing nothing at all because that's what you need in that moment. Those can all be growth. And I don't know about you, this blew my mind, right? Because I often feel like if I'm not doing the work, that somehow I'm falling behind, right? Like if I'm not journaling every day, if I'm not meditating, like for a while in my agenda, my planner, I had like making sure I was having my Zen time every day, like kind of counterintuitive if you ask me, but just checking it off. And here the whole point of it was to get myself calm, right? And I found myself this week in my journal in the morning, I wrote the words, I'm tired of trying to heal and fix myself. And when I wrote that, that's when I got sort of the inspiration for this episode because I thought, yeah, we don't always have to be trying, right? Sometimes doing the work is doing nothing at all. It's resting, it's recalibrating, it's unlearning. And that's not weakness or laziness. That is wisdom and alignment. That can often be overlooked because that's the integration, right? Where the rubber meets the road. And we miss that part of it. We're constantly evolving and changing and growing so that we can get to this exact moment. And yet when we get there, we overlook it. We bypass it almost so that we're moving on to the next thing really quick. Let yourself be in that moment of nothingness, of stillness, because that's where the magic is, right? So if you're in a season like that quiet, unsexy, in between kind of, that sort of, again, nothingness, let me just say this. You are not lost. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're just being. And that is 1,000% allowed. Again, that's sort of what we're striving for. So why wouldn't we embrace it when it comes? It's beautiful. I see you in that, and I honor you in that, and I'm proud of you. And I know also that's difficult because of what we've allowed to become ingrained in our doing. It's difficult. But I want to offer you a little gentle challenge if you're up for it, and if you care for one. And if you don't, fine too. But here's my challenge. I want you to get up one morning this week, and I want you to look in the mirror, and I want you to say, this version of me is enough. This version. Not the version when I lose the weight, not the version after I started the business, not the version, not once I get my morning routine fixed and perfect, not once I have a workout schedule that's set in stone or I have all my meals properly prepped and perfectly prepped for the whole week. Not then, right now, in this moment, as you are. And then I want you to let a full day go by without trying to improve something. Just be. Whatever you've got in the fridge take for lunch, take it. Whether it's healthy or whether you should or what, if that's what you've got and that's what you're craving, take it. Don't try to fix it. Don't try to bypass it. Don't try to, oh, I don't have anything healthy in my fridge, so I have to stop at the grocery store. No, you don't. Take what you got. Genuinely don't feel like working out, don't. Just be. Don't try to improve yourself. Just be. I'm going to tell you something. It's going to be harder than you think, and it might even stir some things. You're going to feel uncomfortable because we're not used to just being. And it's uncomfortable because you're creating space for emotions to come up. Let them. If you need to journal about it, do it. But I want you to go a whole day without trying to fix yourself. Stop trying to fix yourself. Because your worth has never, ever, ever lived in your productivity or your progress or your potential. It has always lived in your present. Just being here. That's where it lives. So let it shine. Thank you so much, my friends, for being here. If this episode landed in your chest the way it did for me when I wrote it and just now recording it, I would love to hear from you. Shoot me a message over on Instagram. I've got 2 accounts. There's one for the podcast. There's one, my personal one. Comment if you're watching this on Substack. I would love to hear it. If you're sitting in your own quiet season right now, I see you. And if you need it, I'm here to support you. And I would love to hear from you. So you're not alone. You're still becoming, even when it doesn't look like it. I will see you next time, my friend. Mwah.